4.5 Part 1 Quadratic Functions and Equations. Go ahead and try the warm-up. First of all, factor it. So think of it as x squared minus 6x plus 8, and then break it down and factor it. Then we're going to put it into vertex form. This is what we did at the beginning of the chapter, that h equals negative b over 2a. All right, once you have it factored and put into vertex form, go ahead and graph and then see if you can connect the factors to the graph. So go ahead and pause the video, and then I'll come back with the answer here shortly. All right, if we factor it, we can break it up x and x. What multiplies to be 8? We had either 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. That gives you 6. So 2 and 4 can get us 6. We want negative 6. So the inside was negative 4, the outside negative 2 to make negative 6. So there's our factors. We'll come back to those here in a little bit. All right, so then putting it in vertex form, should have gotten your x to be negative 3 or h, negative b over 2a. 6 over 2 times 1 is 3. Now we just need to plug it back in. Y equals 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 8. So 9 minus 18 plus 8, negative 9 plus 8, y is negative 1. Now, if I want to put that actually in vertex form, that is a specific y value, but putting it in vertex form, we would go y equals, our a is going to be 1, because it was started out as 1, so we don't need to put anything in front of the parentheses. X minus k squared, x minus h squared, and then minus k. So this said that it starts 3 to the right and down 1, or you can think of this, the vertex is 3, negative 1. So then we go back to how do we graph a parabola? 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. So from that dot, 1 squared is 1, 2, 2 squared, 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets you the right side, and then to the left, just copy it over. There we go. My screen's not working so good, so sorry about the bad line. All right, so what do these factors mean to the graph? So we have negative 4 and 2, but if you look at the graph at where it crosses, it's crossing the graph at 2 and 4. So really, if we can take the opposite of these are called our zeros. Our zeros are going to be x equals 2 and 4. All right, let's try some more like this. So to think about where the zeros are wherever your graph crosses the x-axis. So like on this one, your 0 would be 2. On this one, your 0 would be at negative 2. And on this one, your zeros would be at negative 1 and 1. Okay? So to find the zeros without the graph, what we can do is solve the equation. So what we can do is factor it just like we did before. And then if you have factors, like we'll let this one be our a and this one be our b. Anytime we're taking factors, a times b equals 0, then either a equals 0, so this first one equals 0, or b equals 0. Or both. Okay? All right, so let's jump to the next page. All right, what are the solutions to the quadratic equation x squared minus 7x equals negative 12? So the first thing you need to do is get it equal to 0. So right away, we need to move that 12 back over to the other side. So we go x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. There are no like terms, so we can't put anything together. So now we're going to factor it. Okay, x squared, we can break it up x and x. For the 12, we can think what multiplies by 12. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. And we want it to be 7, 3, and 4. So since we want it to be 7, we're going to pick that 3 and 4. Since we want it to be negative 7, they're both going to be subtraction. Okay, but now we have one more step. We need to take each of those factors and set them equal to 0. So we go x minus 3 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. So we're going to add the 3 to the other side to get x equals 3, add the 4 to the other side to get x equals 4. Okay, so that would be your solutions. You might see these written a bunch of different ways. You could see them written as your solutions, your zeros, your roots. Those all mean the same thing. Okay. All right, let's do a couple more here. Solve each quadratic by factoring. So for number 2, you need to subtract that 4 or that 6 to the other side so that it says x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. And then now I can break it apart. So go ahead and finish that one and see what you get. All right, so we go x and x, multiply to be 6. 1 and 6 are 2 and 3. We want the one that can get us to 1. So it's going to be that 2 and 3. My inside outside is 2x and 3x. I need the bigger one to be negative and then the smaller one to be positive. So then I set those each equal to 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. So x equals negative 2. X equals 3. All right, number 3, now we have a lead coefficient. So these are going to be more like what we did yesterday. These ones are going to be a little bit tougher. All right, so we got to subtract that 14 to the other side. I see I can't take a 2 out of everything, so I'm just going to jump into factoring. So we go 2x and x, multiply to be 14, would be 1 and 14, or 2 and 7. Now that little trick, I can't, if I try 2 and 7, the 2 shouldn't go with the 2, otherwise I'd have been able to take a 2 out of everything. So I'll put 2 over here and 7 over here. So we have 7x and 4x, and I want it to be negative 3. Perfect. 7 is negative, 4 is positive. All right, now be careful when you solve this one, because when you might see the pattern that we've been using, it's always like the opposite sign. But if there's a lead coefficient like this one, the answer is not just 7. We have to add the 7, then divide by 2. So x is 7 over 2. And then this one is just the opposite. So x is negative 2. Negative 2 and 3.5, or 7 over 2. All right, number 4, this one sometimes is confusing for students because they want to break it into 2 binomials. But this one, you can just pull out that greatest common factor. So I can see that 5x goes into both of them. So like, what are we left with? If we take a 5x out of each of them, we're left with x plus 7. Now I can set them equal to 0. So 5x equals 0, and then x plus 7 equals 0. Divide by 5. 0 divided by 5 is 0. Minus 7, and x is negative 7. All right, here we go, number 5. So again, get everything on the same side. 2x cubed plus 10x squared plus 12x equals 0. Now this one, kind of like number 4, I can take a number and a variable out of all of them. So I can take a 2x out of all of them. So to think about what do I have left, just imagine dividing each of them by 2x. So for the first one, we have x squared. Then we have plus 5x, and then plus 6. So now I can break this apart a little bit further. So we go x and x. Multiply to be 6. Now this one's one of those tricky ones where there's different choices that can both get us the same answer. Because 1 and 6 multiply to be 6 but can get us 5. And then 2 and 3 multiply to be 6 that can also get us 5. So since we want all positives, we want the ones that we add up to get 5. So it's going to be 2 and 3. All right, so now to solve this, you have to set all 3 of them equal to 0. So 2x equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0. So then when I do this first one, 2x equals 0, I can divide both sides by 2. X is 0. This one I just subtract 2, negative 2, and this one subtract 3, negative 3. So 0, negative 2, and negative 3. All right, your assignment is from the textbook, page 229, number 9 through 17, also posted on Canvas. All right. Try to have this done for tomorrow.